So I wasn't sure if I wanted to make this video. I don't know if I should be giving all this information away for free, but I want to help y'all out. And more importantly, this is a video that I wish existed years ago when I started my photography business, started trying to grow an audience online, because I didn't understand how to take all this social media content I was creating simply for promotion and turn it into a money-making opportunity. That is the system we are going over today. Exactly how to make the most out of your social media content as a photographer. And big shout out to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. We'll talk about them a little bit later on. Now, this system in today's video, which you're getting the entire thing. That's why the video is so long. It took me a long time to make this. It's in depth. Hit the thumbs up button if it helps you out. But this system has made me $17,000 this year strictly through e-commerce as a photographer. All I've done is post to social media and made that money with this system. Now, over half of these sales are coming from an Instagram that I created at the beginning of this year. This Instagram is strictly for my photography. It's called Evan Ranft Photo, and at the time I'm making this video, it has 3,500 followers. So the account is not big whatsoever, but this system works perfectly. And this system is an expansion of a video I made mid last year where I explained how I was making $1,000 a month off of Instagram. I've doubled down on this strategy, implemented it into this new page, and kind of to my surprise, honestly, it's working very well, and that's the reason I'm sharing it with y'all today. Now, a lot of people don't like the idea of trying to capture attention online, especially if you're an artist. People think you're trying to sell out, you're, I don't know, being disingenuous or something like that, but the reality is attention is currency now, and we all need money to survive. And if you are creating a brand online, you have a goal that you're focusing on in public. If you're a photographer, that probably means creating a body of work, sharing a photo every day like I'm doing. If you have that mission and you're sharing it to grow an audience around that mission, it makes sense to do something that helps that audience and makes money for you in the process. So an easy way to think about this system is your content is you working towards a goal in public. That's your brand, that's your content. And once you have a system for either creating that content, creating the thing that you're making, what you're doing as a business, you can sell that system as a product. Now, for me, this system is my presets. That is how I'm making all this money. For the most part, people like the way I edit my photos. They've always been interested in how I create these edits, so I built a product helping people do that. Now, because this is a more complicated topic, I don't want to spend too much time on content strategy just yet. We'll save that for the end of the video. For now, I want to focus on all the building blocks necessary to create this chain that takes people from your social media and turns them into paying customers. Without all these steps, strategy doesn't matter whatsoever. And the reason this is important is because we all know Instagram and most social media platforms don't have a way for you to create direct sales with your customers. And we also know that social media has algorithms and things at play that can limit your reach with potential customers. So by having a website that looks professional, you have the ability not only to sell to your customers, you also have the ability to capture your customers' emails, generate leads, and eventually contact them outside of social media. So this is a very important step. Now, in this section of the video, I'm going to show you exactly how I built my website, evanranft.com. If you want a website that looks like mine, follow this tutorial. I'm not leaving anything out, and unfortunately, this is where I'm a little bit worried because now people are going to have websites that look exactly like mine, but I think it's going to help people not have this basic run-of-the-mill template looking site and have something that looks a little bit more unique. So my website is built on squarespace.com. If you want to start a free trial, follow along with this tutorial, you can go to squarespace.com/EvanRanft, start a trial, and when you're ready to sign up, you use code EvanRanft at checkout. Squarespace is what I've been using since 2017 for my websites, long before they were a sponsor on this channel. I absolutely love them for all the tools they provide, and without Squarespace, I wouldn't be able to make $100 a day from this Instagram that has such a small following. So let's get into that first. Let's go ahead and build out the base of our website. Now, the first thing you have to do to build your site after you create a Squarespace account is go to Google or any search engine and search Squarespace PageRoad. This is the template that I use on my site. Now, this will come up, and what we're going to do is click on PageRoad right here, where under it says start your website today with a Squarespace website template. That is going to open up this PageRoad template for us. So once it's up on your screen, we're going to click on start with this design. From here, we're going to get met with a number of prompts. So we'll go ahead and click on start. And now we have this template that we need to customize. Now, step 2 of this process for you is to turn this template right here into a website that looks like mine, evanranft.com. So let me show you how I did this. First thing we're going to do is scroll back to the top and we're going to click on website. Now we're going to click on pages right here, and you're going to see this primary navigation section. This is the section that will have each one of these headers up top right here. We're going to actually scroll down to our not linked section. Our home page is not linked because essentially it's a landing page. It's not this designated home page. So what we have here is we have our hero section, which is this part right here. We have our featured section, which is down here. We have our content section, which is this, and we have our subscribe section. Now my website features 3 of these. It features the hero, featured section, and subscribe section, but I got rid of the content section. So we're going to highlight content, and we're going to hit the trash can, and we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. And there we go. Now that section has been removed, and all we have are the 3 main sections that are featured on my site. Now from here, we can begin customizing our template. The first thing we'll do, which is the most simple, is change our site title or add a logo. So if you bring your cursor over where it says your site title, you can go ahead and click this edit button right here, and it will give you the ability to highlight this box and change the name to something if you want, or you can add in a logo by clicking this plus sign right here, clicking upload file, finding the logo and adding it in, and now the logo will appear at the top of your homepage, whichever one you prefer. It's totally fine, it's up to you. So once that's uploaded, we'll go ahead and click on save, and now we've begun the process of designing our site. So now as you can see, our logo is now at the top of our screen. So what we're going to do is now customize this section of our page. This is the front facing part of our website. We want to make sure this looks really good to impress people who are visiting our site for the first time. So we're going to click on edit right here, and we're going to go ahead and highlight this hero image section right here. So you want to make sure that there is this blue box around the section before you click it. Once you do, you will get this customizable section right here. So what we're going to do is click on collage, and we're going to actually change this to overlap. This is important later for the overall formatting of our site. The next thing we're going to do is click on this arrow right here, and we're going to change it from aligning to the right to aligning to the left. So now our text is going to be on the right side and our image is going to be on the left side. So we'll go ahead and click save from there, because we have to jump into our styling and slightly customize this text to make it look a little bit cleaner. So click on save, click on edit once again, and we're going to change this text that comes default on the template. We're going to go ahead and just change this to my name, Evan Ranft right here, and then we're going to add a subtitle. This can vary based on what you want to say or what your mission is. We're just going to go ahead and copy what is on my current site right now and go ahead and paste it in. Now, one thing you'll notice is the text for Evan Ranft on my site looks different than the text here. What we got to do is go into our site style and customize that text. So we're going to click on save right now, and we're going to click on website once again. We're going to click on design, and we are going to click on site styles. Now, this is a section of your Squarespace site that allows you to customize everything from background color to button color, and it's really easy to access each one of these customizations. You just have to highlight what you want to change. Now, in an image block like this, you want to make sure you highlight the entire image block. So notice how we have this blue square around our block. That means it's selected. So we're going to click into that, and now we can go into each one of these individual settings and customize that font. So what we're going to do is click on title font right here, and we're going to change this font to the font from the rest of our site, which is a word I can't exactly pronounce. It's Nutzengrusk or something like that, which I think is German. I'm not exactly sure. But once we change that font, now this font matches the remaining font on our site. So for now, we can go ahead and click save and continue customizing this homepage. So now back on our homepage, we are going to highlight this section right here that says hero, and we're going to click on settings. What we're going to do is add in a background image. So we're going to click on media right here, and we're going to add in a file. We're going to go ahead and select the background photo that I made, which I added a slight black overlay to in Photoshop to keep kind of a separation between the thumbnail image and the background, which you'll see in a second once the image uploads. Once it adds in to Squarespace, you can go ahead and click on save, and there we go. Now you can see that that image is in our background, and like I mentioned, notice how there is a slight black overlay to it. I did that in Photoshop. You just add a layer, drop the opacity to like 50%, and you'll get that same effect. So now we're back on our home page once again, and we're going to click edit one more time for this hero section. Now we're going to click on this image box, and we're going to click this pencil right here. This is going to allow us to edit this image. So what we're going to do is click on replace right here, and we're going to upload a file, and we're going to select the thumbnail photo that I've picked to have on the home page for my site. So once it's uploaded, your image will appear on your home page, and it will look like this. Some of you might like it looking like a square, but if you want to add a little more dimension to your site and create something like this on my page, what you're going to do is click on design right here, and you're going to click on shape. This is going to allow you to add a bunch of different shapes to your image to give it more of a custom look. For me, I preferred the way this one looked by clicking on 2.3 and clicking this kind of diagonal shape right here. So once that's done, we can click on save, and now we've completed the first part of the website. Later on, we'll have to customize this button, but we'll get to that eventually. So now we're on to customizing the second section of our site. Now everyone is going to look a little bit different here based on what your goals are with your site, how many products or different links you have available. On my page, I have 4 different links, one to my educational program, one to my presets, one to my book, and one to free stuff. Some of you might only have 2 of these, so you'll only need to do this twice. Some of you might have 4 links, and you're going to need 4 of them. Some of you might have 6 to 8. It just depends on your site. So what we're going to do is scroll down from the top to our featured section, and we're going to click on edit right here. And first thing we're going to do actually is drop in a text box. So with this text, we're going to call this resources. We'll just go ahead and copy it from my site right here. So copy resources, and we are going to change this. Oh, there we go. It already auto formatted because we copied it. We're going to change it from normal text to heading number 3, and we're going to make sure it's centered, and we're going to make sure it's bold. So we're going to go ahead and click on save right here. We're going to click on edit one more time. So now we're going to move our cursor over the block that says resources and wait for it to change to a hand. When it does that, you now have the ability to drag that block to a new location. So we're going to drag it to the top of our set right here just to give this a label. Now we're going to go into each one of these individual image blocks, and we're going to change the settings on them from the format that they come with the template to the same format we used up top. So we're going to change each one of these to overlap. Change that one, click on this one, once again, change it to overlap, change this one to overlap, and we're going to do it one last time here. This is the format that I used on my site, and I feel like it gives a pretty clean look. Last but not least, we're going to go ahead and delete all of these blocks that we're not using. This search block down here that came with a template is unnecessary, so we'll go ahead and delete those. And remember, there can be spacer blocks as well that make their way into these templates, so always be on the lookout for those because they can mess up your formatting without you knowing it. There's one more. I think that should be all of them. So that looks pretty good right there. Now we're going to go in and customize each one of these. So what we're going to do is click on each individual image, and we're going to click on the edit tool up here, and we're going to remove the image. From here, we're going to go ahead and click the plus sign to add a thumbnail image in. Now, I already created some thumbnail images. You can create ones that correspond to wherever you want each one of these resources to link to later in the video. But for this one, we're going to do my presets. So we're going to go ahead and click upload on this. So once the image is uploaded, we're going to click on design, and we're going to emulate the look on my site. So we're going to do the same thing that we did previously where we changed the image to a shape. We're going to go ahead and click on shape right here, select which shape we want. We can go to 3x2, 2x3, and we can go ahead and select the same one that we used up in the header. Feel free to use whichever one you want. I personally like this vertical look. And last but not least, we are going to change the image to the right. So now we have the exact same look here. So once that's done, we can go ahead and click on save. Obviously, you're going to need to go ahead and fill in the text here. So we'll just copy this over really quick for the sake of this example. Let's go ahead and paste in presets, and let's go ahead and paste in the descriptive text down below. There we go. So that one is now done. We can click on save, and now we have to repeat the process for the rest of these. So I'm quickly going to breeze through this really fast. Let's do one more together by clicking on edit. We're going to click on image right here, go to the pencil, we're going to remove this image, and we're going to upload a new thumbnail that we created. This one can be for free resources. Once that's uploaded in there, we can go ahead and click on design, and once again we can change this to a shape. We can select our shape in 2x3, the same vertical type shape, and there we go. That one is done. We can copy everything from my site over into our image block, and now I'm quickly going to customize each one of these as well, following the exact same pattern. And there we go. Now that is done. We're going to go ahead and map these buttons a little bit later on, so we can click on save, and now we are done with this featured section. Now once we're back on our main navigation, one more thing we can do is go to website, go to design once again, go to site style, and we can click on this resource section right here, and we can actually change the color to any color we want. I don't recommend anything too bright like that. I'm going to go to a straight black to mimic my website right here. One last thing you can do in styles as well to emulate my site is change your button colors. So what you can do is scroll all the way down to button background color. You can click on this color box, and you can change all the buttons on your site to whatever color you like. The text in the buttons is a little bit hard to read, so what we can do is drop over here to button font color, and we can click in this box and we can change the font color to whatever we like. I'm going to go ahead and go with a simple black. Now all of our buttons are extremely readable and they match what is on my website. The color's off just a little bit, but you get the idea. So let's click on save, and now we're officially done with that section. So now what we got to do is the final section on our page, which is our subscribe section. So what we're going to do is click on edit one last time, and first and foremost we're going to go ahead and delete this spacer block right here because that is unnecessary. We're also going to delete this spacer block below because that is also unnecessary. Now we're going to customize the back look to this block by clicking on save and then clicking on settings, and we're going to go to media. We're going to remove this image and we're going to add in our own image, which once again I've already created. I did the same thing with this image that I did with our header image. I added a slight overlay in Photoshop with a black layer. I dropped the opacity to about 30% or something like that so it fits with the black design of our site. Once that's loaded in, we can move the center of our image if we want. I'm going to move the center up just slightly. We'll go ahead and click on save right here and see how it looks. All right, so that pretty much looks perfect to me. Now we can go ahead and click edit on this one last time, and we can click in our newsletter box right here and we can customize it. Now, if you want people to sign up for your newsletter or updates, you're going to need to go ahead and turn on the list that you'll be using inside of Squarespace. Because we're doing a demo right now, I'm not able to do that, but what you'll do is click on this and follow the prompts that it gives you so you can create a list of people who subscribe. Feel free to customize the description if you'd like, but for the sake of example, this one is done. You can also customize the post submit and say thank you, look out for your update email, whatever you want it to say. But for now, we'll go ahead and click on save, and that is now done. And you'll notice that the button color is different down here than it is for the rest of our site, and also we have this green down here. So we're going to jump into website and design. We're going to click on site styles one last time, and we're going to select this button right here and check our color code. So our color code is this right here, which we can copy if we like. So let's go ahead and copy it. Now let's scroll back down to our newsletter box. Let's click on button color here. Let's highlight this, delete it, and paste in that color code. So our button should look the exact same down there. Hasn't changed yet for some reason. Let's go ahead and change the alternate one as well, just in case. Now all buttons will have the proper color to them. That worked. So now we need to change our alternate color text, and we'll go ahead and change the text color here as well. That looks good. And last but not least, we can click on our footer down here and we can change the background color to black. So let's scroll down. That looks good as well. And now our website is complete as far as the homepage goes. All right, so we got our homepage done. You have a lot of options to customize that page however you want. And later in the video, I'll show you how to map those buttons on the homepage to the products you're eventually selling or wherever you want them to link to. Now, there are 2 other pages on my site that are not listed in this video yet. First is a portfolio page. My portfolio was built using a separate video on this channel. If you want to learn how to do that, follow the link in the description down below labeled portfolio. That will help you create a portfolio just like mine. In my opinion, it's one of the best ways to do this on Squarespace. It looks very unique, very professional, and it's not just a page of photos, but if I were to include it in this video would be like an entire course in one. So that video is linked down below. Now we also quickly have to add a contact me page. This is very basic and simple, but I do want to include it because it's featured on my site. This allows people to get in contact with you with questions, and also potential clients can get in contact with you as well. That's why it's important to have a portfolio and a contact me page. In my opinion, it's better for clients. It doesn't necessarily impact your sales at all, but if you're looking to round out a photography business and make your site look professional, these are 2 very good things to have. So briefly, let me show you how to make that contact page. What we're going to do now is we're going to add a contact me page, and we're going to clean up some of these drop downs and options we have up here. So we're going to click on website right here. We're going to click on pages, and under this info tab, we have these 3 drop downs that you can see right here that come as part of the template. We're going to go ahead and remove all of these by just clicking on contact and sliding it to its own section, and then we're going to delete this info section right here. So now, as you can see, we only have 3 things up here now. We have shop, blog, and contact. Now, you can set up a blog if you'd like. Feel free to do one on your own. I think it's great to have one on your site, but for now, we're going to go ahead and get rid of this just by not enabling the page. So to show you one more time, we're going to click on this gearbox right here, and we're going to not enable this page. The reason we're not going to enable it is simply so we can come back to it and add it to our site later if we want. What we're going to do from here is we're going to go ahead and quickly customize this contact me page. Now, to customize your contact me page, all you're going to want to do when you're on your contact me page is click on edit right here, and we're going to delete essentially everything outside of the contact me button. So we're going to go ahead and delete that. We're going to delete this spacer right here. We're going to delete this text box right here, delete this map box right here, keep that there, and this photo we're going to make a little bit smaller. So for the sake of example, we're just going to click on that pencil. Let me just show you that one more time. We're going to click on the image box. We're going to click on the pencil right here, and we're going to go ahead and remove this photo, and we're going to add in our own photo. I'm just going to select one from my library here. We'll just go ahead and use one of our thumbnails for the example. So let's go ahead and click on that, wait for it to import in, and that looks pretty good. We can always make that smaller by dragging this right here. Let's drag that a little bit more to make it a little bit smaller for us. That looks pretty good, but now we got to adjust our picture. So we're going to click back on that pencil tool, and we're going to grab this little circle right here, and we're going to move it accordingly. So I think that looks good. We can click on save. Let's one more time go ahead and click on edit. We can change this from plant help to get in touch. You can add in a description down there if you'd like, but for now we'll go ahead and just leave it as that. And from here we're going to click on this contact me box. We're going to click this pencil tool right here, and all you'll have to do here is click on storage and map this to whichever email you want to use. It's most likely going to be the email you used with your Squarespace trial. So when someone contacts you with their first name, last name, email, and whatever they want to talk about, it will get sent to your email. That's a brief breakdown of how to create a contact me page. I didn't want to spend too much time on it. We'll go ahead and click save, and now that page is ready to go as well. So now we're on to the money-making step of this process. We need to add some type of product to our website. Now, adding a product is not going to be something that you do in one day. Building a product takes time, it takes strategy, and it takes critical thinking on your part to figure out where your value lies for the audience you're growing on social media. If you're someone, say, sharing their landscape photography, remember what we talked about at the beginning of the video, your content is you reaching a goal in public. So if your content is centered around you becoming the best landscape photographer possible, the product that you want to sell is what you learn through that process. So the system that you've developed to become a better landscape photographer. So you can sell something like a course or potentially presets or a membership site. If you're someone who's looking to simply make photography and you want to document a certain thing, maybe it's street photography in New York, eventually the product you sell, because it aligns with your audience, could be a photo book or prints around the photography you're making in New York. You want to make sure that the mission that you have online aligns with your product. This is so important. It's not something I can do for you, but I just want to hammer that in your head. Don't create a product that doesn't make sense with what you're sharing on social media. If you're making a bunch of street photography, do not try to sell a course about editing landscape photos. That's an extreme example, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. Now, in this section of the video, I'm going to break down how I sell my presets on Squarespace. Presets is how I make my money because on my photo page, I am sharing photos that I'm making and people want to know how I'm editing those photos. It's as simple as that. And if they want to get that system, they buy it through my website. So we're going to do that as the example. It's going to be a digital product, but I have multiple videos on this channel breaking down how to do physical products as well as more examples of digital products. So I'll link both of those in the description down below. Remember, you can follow along with this by going to squarespace.com/EvanRamp to start a free trial. And when you're ready to sign up, use code EvanRamp to save 10% at checkout. Let's add this product to our site. Remember, this is the basics, and I don't expect you to do this in one day. So now to get started with e-commerce, the first thing we have to do is actually make a quick change or be aware of something on our site. We're going to click on website and we're going to go to pages, and in this template, in our footer navigation, you're going to see 3 pages: shipping and returns, privacy policy, and terms and conditions. These are pages you need to fill out on your own and make sure they correspond with the products you have available on your site, and just making sure that they're tailored to your specific customer or how you're using the site. Now, for now, we're going to go ahead and click the gear box on each one of these and turn them off until you have time to go in and customize them for yourself, and this is going to remove them from your footer. This is actually something that I'm fixing on my current website right now, so it's fresh in my mind. So you want to make sure these are not on until you go ahead and fix them. So let's toggle each one of these off by hitting the gearbox, turning off this enable page setting. There we go. Now those pages are not visible and they're not listed in our footer until we're ready to go in and customize them ourselves. Now, to add a product to your website, we need to edit our store page. So the store page comes as a demo on your template, but we're going to go ahead and create our own because this demo page has so much stuff on it. I actually don't feel like going through and deleting all of it. It is actually just going to be easier to start from scratch. So what we're going to do is click on remove example page right here. We're going to delete it and we're going to add in our own store page by clicking on this plus sign right here. We're going to click on store, and now we have a new store page added. You can change this to shop if you like. That's what I'm going to change it to. Click enter, and now we're ready to customize our page. Now, it's important to note that if you want to sell a product on your site, you do need to upgrade to a business or commerce plan. That is standard for any Squarespace site that sells a product. So to add a product to your site, we're going to go ahead and click add product right here, and we're going to do a digital product like I already mentioned. Now, look at all these options. You have services, membership sites, scheduling, you have physical products as well. There's a lot of options here and so many different things you can sell to make passive income. But for this example, we'll go ahead and do a download. So for this download, I'm just going to copy and paste all the descriptions that I have from my website. So on my site, we have my new preset collection right here. We're going to go ahead and steal this title. We're going to copy this, drop it into our product name. We're going to go ahead and steal this description right here. Shameless plug, my presets are not going to be on sale anymore after the 29th. So if you want to grab them, go ahead and grab them. Copy this, and let's add in this description right here. So that's all we have to do, is add in a very detailed description of our product. We also have to add in our images, which for the sake of this example, I'm not going to do. It's going to take quite a bit of time. I'm just going to add one photo in. So now we need to upload the file that people will get when they purchase the download from your site. So we're going to click on upload file. We're going to find our specific file, which you want to compress into a zip file, and we're going to go ahead and add it in here. Now we can go ahead and click save on this because it's technically done once we set our price. Let's go ahead and just set this to $49.99 right now. This is technically done and it's going to be available on our site, but I want to show you a few things on my site that I've done just to give you more details of how you can really fill out one of these sales pages. So on my sales page for my site, notice how I have all these different example photos of the presets listed with that box photo that I added in there. All these examples can be viewed on the page and help the customer get an idea of what this product is capable of. There's also this additional information box below our description. As you can see, we have one on our page as well. Now with this additional information tab, you can click it and you can add things to your sales page in the exact same way you would add anything to any other Squarespace page by using the plus sign right here. You can add in something like a photo gallery to give more examples. You can add in embedded videos. So if you have a sales overview like I have, you can give people much more information. And the way you do that is by clicking this plus sign right here. And let's say we want to add another embedded video. All we do is click embedded. We would type in the YouTube link to our video. We could add a custom thumbnail image with if we wanted, and that is that. So that is all the tools that I use for my sales page to get a product ready to sell. Now, our product on our page is ready to go, so we're going to go ahead and click publish on this and send it live to our site so we can see it. So there is our product right there. Now, one last thing we want to do with this product is click edit one last time, and we want to change the URL slug on this so we can map it to one of our buttons on our home page. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go down to marketing, we're going to click on edit, and we're going to change this to simply presets. So now someone can go to your website name /shop/presets and they will immediately access your presets. You can use that link on social media as well, and it just makes everything easier and cleaner. So from here, our product is ready to go. Now, you're going to have to go in and follow the prompts that Squarespace provides so you can set up a Stripe account and link this to a payment processor, but that's pretty simple and straightforward, and Squarespace does a good job of walking you through it. So now there's a few finishing touches we have to make sure that our home page is now functioning properly with all the buttons laid out on our page. So first thing we're going to do is go back to our primary navigation on our Pages tab under website. Now in Pages, we're going to click on this gear box and make sure that our URL slug for our shop is actually shop. You want it to be something simple. If it's store, you want to make this URL slug store, but this is perfect. So now to make sure these buttons all go to the right place, let's go ahead and click on edit for our header tab right here. We're going to make sure that our total box for our image is highlighted with this blue square over here. We're going to click it one time, click on this pencil tool right here, and we're going to go to our button settings. So our button text is shop now, which I think is totally fine, but our link is going to the wrong place. So we're going to remove this link and we're going to click on attach link. Now, Squarespace has this awesome feature where you can just search for the URL you're looking for on your site, which in our case is shop. So we're going to click on that and we're going to go ahead and click on save right here. So we're now going to check this button by clicking it, and it should take us to our shop page, which it does. So now people on our home page can easily access our presets that we now have for sale. So now we want to do the same thing down here with our resources. We're going to click on edit for our featured section, and once we do that, we can select individual boxes and click the pencil sign once again, go down to the link button, and we can remove the link and we can attach a new link for preset. Let's check that right there. Perfect. And we're going to go ahead and click on save right now. We're going to refresh our page one time, and now that button should take us directly to our presets. Let's click on that. Perfect. Now people can access your presets from your homepage. Now this is where a little bit of critical thinking on your part comes into play to customize each one of these pages, you eventually might add a free stuff section, which I'm going to talk about in a second. And if you do that, you're going to want to map this button to that free download or your free products. If you eventually create a physical product, you could change this section to something like prints and map that to your prints or to your shop. Maybe you have some social media accounts you're trying to drive followers to. You could change this to Instagram, change the thumbnail, and change the link to Instagram. This is completely customizable and up to you. I just wanted to use my website as an example of how this can be a functional tool and how you can map each one of these to any different link or resources you have that you want to make sure people are aware of. All right, so now we have a product added to our site. But like I mentioned, most people are not going to be able to build a product very quickly. It does take time. So if you're someone who is looking to build a product, but you want to take attention from your social media and bring it to your website in the way of an email list, I have a video on this channel where I break down the strategy I use for launching my photo book. In that video, there is a section called promotion, which will break down exactly how to build a page on your site that allows people to sign up for updates for a product you're eventually going to launch. This is very important for anyone in the building phase of their business. Maybe you're eventually going to launch presets. You can post to social media and say, I'm going to launch presets or a tutorial for how I made this edit in a few months. Hit the link in my bio to sign up for updates. And this will allow you to directly contact these people outside of social media when that product is available. So that video is linked down below. Remember, it's the video about how I created a photo book. Now, another strategy you can implement is a free value proposition with an automated email. This is going to allow you to create a free product on your website, and when people find you on social media, they can download that free product and be added to an email list where you can send them promotions either manually or through automations. Now, I have another video on this channel where I break that down. That video is listed down below. It's going to be titled Automation Email Marketing. So follow that video if you want to understand how to create a free product and automate emails to promote the product you're eventually selling. So now to close out this video, I want to go over the strategy that I use with my content that allows me to turn this social media attention into potential sales. Now, this is basically a really simple sales funnel, and on Instagram, it looks like this. I use Instagram Reels as a way to capture broad attention. It's the top of the funnel. I know a lot of people don't like Instagram Reels, but in reality, they're a part of social media now. You have to use them. I post Reels simply trying to generate attention, get people to my page. I don't care if they buy anything. I don't promote anything. It's very simple. Get the attention. And then from there, the funnel tightens. And what I do in this section of my funnel is I create Instagram posts that use my presets. So if you go to Evan Ranft Photo on Instagram, you'll see that every single post has the preset formula for how an edit is made. The idea here is to get people interested in the product that is making this page possible. I would not be able to post a photo every single day without these presets. So people who follow me from a reel now are being exposed to these presets, and they're also getting curiosity around the free preset that is listed inside my Instagram bio. A lot of times they'll go download this free preset and now they are into my email marketing system and I can contact them directly outside of social media. Now, bringing awareness to these presets with every single post is a passive way to promote my presets. People who have them can use the formulas, mimic the edits, but people seeing those preset formulas over and over and over again can eventually drive them to the bottom of the funnel, which is actually going to my site and purchasing them because they saw an edit that they liked. Or I can send an email to people who have got the free preset and promote my presets to them. I can say, hey, these are some edits I've made recently. These are some formulas you can use. And that is a form of direct response marketing to generate a sale. Now, in my opinion, the reason this system has been effective is because I'm so consistent with posting to this page. And the message is very direct. I'm sharing one photo every single day. The mission is to share those pictures. If you want to edit the photo the same way, you can get the presets. That is the only messaging that I'm delivering with this Instagram page. And if you're looking to sell a product, you want that same messaging applied to the value you're providing. Now, for the sake of example, let's say you're a street photographer. If you were to implement this same money-making strategy, it would go like this. You build your website, you create a product around your street photography. Let's say you make a course teaching people how to make street photos like yours. That is what you're going to be selling. Now, everything you do on social media is going to be centered around your process as a street photographer, what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, how you're making these images. You're looking to capture people who are interested in this topic. From there, that's the top of your funnel. You are going to create posts, maybe your 10 best posts of the week, and you're going to share those photos with a call to action saying, if you want to learn how I made these photos, check out the link in my bio. Now, you can take this a step farther by offering up that free value proposition. Maybe you have a small editing tutorial that you offer up for free. This is going to, one, expose people to your offer frequently. So every time you post, they're going to see that you have information available to make street photography like yours, and it's also going to get people to a mailing list where you can send them promotions or automations around this product you're selling. And then from there, over time, you continue to post, expose this offer to new people, send promotions through your mailing list, and you can convert sales. It's as simple as that. Most times people are not going to buy something the first time they see it, but because you're exposing it to them over and over, maybe by the 10th post they see, they finally say, you know what, I'm going to go to this guy's sales page. I'm going to check this out because this dude's photos are great and I want to learn how he makes them. That is the strategy in a nutshell. And this video is how you do it. It's how I've made money. It's how you can make money. And if you enjoyed it, do me a solid, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you are not yet. Check back with me maybe in like 6 to 8 months. Let's see if I can scale this up. And big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Remember, if you want to follow along with this, go to squarespace.com/EvanRamp, start a free trial, and use code EvanRamp to save 10% at checkout. You are the best. Hope this one helped you. I'll see you next time.